If you've ever been a guest on a podcast and done a really amazing job and wanted to share your episode with everyone, and you put it on social media and then it kind of got forgotten about after a few days, then this video is for you. So we were just talking about this very topic on our group call within the Wellness Pro website system. So we were talking about websites, and one of our clients just finished up being on her first podcast. And she was asking, what can we be doing with that episode? And I had many ideas. And so I want to just share a snippet of that coaching call with you, and then I come back around and give you some next steps. Absolutely.
Okay.
One thing on that podcast that you were on, repurpose the bejesus out of it. People being able to hear you speak and hear your personality is such a valuable thing for building that trust and that personal connection. I would recommend putting a blog post on your site about, I was on this podcast, even if you can't get the embed code, because usually whenever I've been on podcasts, I've never had anyone give me like, oh, you can embed it here, but you could put the link to the podcast within your blog. And so I would do a little blog post talking about whatever the topic is you talked about, some of the key points and all of that. I would link to the very top of it, go and listen here. Just like anecdotally, story of mine, I was looking for a therapist and I love therapy. And I was looking at her website and I was like, okay, I think this is good. But then I joined her Substack to like further kind of understand her thought process and am I going to vibe with her and like her approach to therapy and all of that. And then she said that she was on a podcast, and that was like the missing link for me. I wanted to hear her talk, because a lot of what we do is we're talking with people and we're coaching them through things. And that voice is sometimes like the missing piece. You can look at a photo of someone, but not really know how they're going to be speaking and build that personal connection. So if you have been on a podcast, then I think it's really important to have that on your website in a place where people can really see it and hear about it. And so I would also say, like, on your about page, you could even have a little blurb somewhere saying, I was recently on a podcast talking about this very topic. Here's this link. When you are putting links to external places, because this was what you were talking about on your booking page, so I would go back to the module about creating hyperlinks and all of that. Make sure that it does open to a new page, because especially like on your services page or about page, we don't want people like leaving the site completely. I would put that on your about page. I would have a blog post about it that makes it clear you were on a podcast and this is what you talked about. When you do have an email list going, send those things to your email list. So any way that you can get other ways for people to hear you and see you talking, that really builds that connection a lot more than the spoken word or the written word. The written word's still really important, but then the next level is hearing you talk. I hope this gave you some good ideas for what to do with some of those podcasts that you've already been on, or maybe you've been inspired to get outside of your comfort zone and try and get yourself on some podcasts so that you can feature those on your website, because they can be so powerful when connecting with future clients. And if you want to work with me inside of the Wellness Pro website system and get support like this and so much more, then go to wellnessprowebsite.com and join the waitlist, because we will be opening doors in just a few weeks. And I would love to work with you on either redoing and upgrading your existing website so that it can work better for you. Or if you don't have a website yet, I'd love to help you build one. All right, see you soon. Thanks for watching.